Hello, my name is Matthew Perez, and this is my Week 2 multimedia discussion for MPA 545. In this presentation, I'll be discussing 4 different authors that were referenced in Chapter 3 titled Negotiation in our collaborative approaches to resolving conflict textbook. So let's begin. The first author I'll be discussing is Kimmel, Pruitt, Maganu, and Connor Goldman, in which their journal article was featured on page 48 of the textbook. The concept discusses the factors needed to promote mutual gains in negotiation, and it can be developed by building trust and sharing information. So after reading the actual journal that the book references, it was interesting to learn how it talked about men and women and how they behave similarly during negotiation correlations. So when people build trust with a fellow colleague, they are less likely to engage in threats, and this applies to both men and women. My thoughts on this article is that developing trust in the workplace can be beneficial, especially during the negotiation process, because oftentimes both parties agree in the negotiation process with the assumption that the other party will complete their end of the deal. So as a result, trusting the other partner will complete their portion of the agreement, which makes the process a whole lot easier. The second article I'd like to talk about is Shapiro, Shepard, and Chereskin, and their journal article was featured on page 48 of the textbook. The textbook discusses 3 different levels of trust, which are deterrence, knowledge, and identification. And after reviewing the actual journal, it's interesting to learn how the different types of trust have their own advantages and disadvantages. For example, deterrence-based trust has a greater incentive for reliability, while there is still a risk when a partner could be short-sighted. And as public administrators, we must be able to decide which level of trust is appropriate in a certain situation. And understanding the 3 levels of trust is a helpful tool for public administrators to use. So now let's talk about the third article, which was written by Michelini, and it's on page 54 of the textbook. So this concept would discuss the factors that inhibit effective negotiation, such as selective negotiation. After reviewing the actual article, the journal references, and learning the results from that article, it's interesting to learn how expectations of the outcome of a negotiation can affect the actual meeting. And I agree with this concept that people are more willing to trust the other party if there's already been established history with that person. So the fourth author that I'll be talking about is Stein, and he's referenced on page 55 of the textbook. And the concept that was discussed is why pre-negotiation matters. After reviewing the actual journal article, it's interesting to learn that good theories during pre-negotiations are important even when the negotiation does not follow. My thoughts about pre-negotiation is in the public sector, since there's a lot of bureaucracy, being able to pre-negotiate will help streamline the approval process. If a public administrator foresees any challenges during the pre-negotiation stage, they can quickly begin to negotiate the issue with the other party until both sides are satisfied. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you find the analysis of the 4 articles helpful for this week's negotiation topic. And here's my list of references, and have a great week. Thank you.